Man, what a blessing. Thank you so much. But first, family, what a blessing for me, an honor for me to I look up to this man. We all know the world knows him. One of my favorite saying at the Luau is y'all know him as the number one Polynesian entertainer in the world, also one of the funnest. But he is so many things. He's such a blessing to me and my family. And what an honor to have Chief. But first, I'd like to introduce y'all know him. Hi, Chief. Malietoa, Tauasa, Sielu, Avea. That is the proper way to introduce Chief. So, Chief, thank you so much
Malolava.
for Malo Lava. Thank you for having me here.
It's good to be here. It's good to be with you, and been looking forward to share the knowledge, the culture. It's what we've been doing our lives, and something that we should continue to do, pass on to many other generations.
Yeah. And like I said, I have so much stuff to say. My mind is running right now. I thought we was gonna talk about something small, but no, I felt the spirit of like we're gonna go and allow Chief to share his knowledge and bless the world. I get to work with Chief for almost 20 something years. Yeah, Chief?
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm blessed to be around this man and the knowledge. I've grown up so much by him, but to allow him this space to be here. And I think the first one we want to talk about is Tautua. You are such a big person in Tautua, and I see it every day with you. And like I mentioned, some people think it stops. Where does Tautua comes from? Where that name comes from? Can you please bless us with that?
Tautua all started in the family, in every family. As a young age growing up and doing things that your parents ask you to do. Okay. As young as 4 or 5 years old, when your mom and dad ask you to go get a cup of water,
Mm,
that's already starting your tautua to your parents. And then growing up with many other things you do, cooking the food, serving your parents, serving the village, it's all important part of tautua.
mm,
But there's a whole lot more than that, because tautua goes on and on and on. There's no ending, because when we're gone, the tautua pass on to our children. And therefore, if they don't serve us, they serve others.
mm. No, thank you, Chief, for that. Because some people think it's just is it a Samoan thing? Because I know we talked about this. I think every culture serves in their own way, but I think it's so big in our Polynesian culture. For someone that in Samoa, you started in Samoa
Mm.
in your tautua. Like I mentioned, I left Samoa at a young age, but I learned those values at home. And can you share a little bit about your upbringing in Samoa?
And growing up in the forest, surrounded by trees and nature, it's where I grew up, in the jungle, where
Mm.
there's no running water, there's no you know bathrooms. You go to the river and swim. You go to the river to wash dishes. You go to the river to shower, and then you come to the cooking of food and everything like that. There's no electricity, so it's all growing up learning
Mm.
about how we make use of nature as part of our way of living, you know. And so, as a young man growing up, as part of the tautua, I just not only do things what mom and dad asked me to do, and my older sisters and brothers, but on your own time, you will go and plant taro, you
Mm.
plant bananas, you plant coconut trees. That's all part of your tautua, because all these things are growing up to feed the family and many others that are in need. So you know, when you do the Tautua, it's part of your customer, you're learning your service to your family and everyone that come to visit. So learn so much about living off the land and making use of trees for medicine and stuff. So that's how I grew up.
Is there ever a point when you say, is there a point, some people do it when it's convenient, when it's easy to serve? Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Is there a point when, because serving is when it's difficult or you cannot, putting your own family in the burden? Is there a right time to serve? And
yeah, serving is every day and every time. There's no certain time to serve.
yeah,
You serve every single minute of your life.
yeah,
Every single hours. And unless you go to sleep, you wake up, you think of serving and doing things. Because no matter what you do, it will always part of how you serve others and how you give others.
yeah,
So the things you grow, you share, you serve, you give to them. And that's part of how, when people come to the jungle looking for food, we don't sell them. We give. And as that service of giving, it it brings so much blessings to things to grow and
yeah.
grow and grow. So we give more and more and more. So talking about service and your tautua, it's part of your life. It's part of your spirit. It's part of your living that will never end
Yeah.
until you're gone.
I see you serve every day, and in my mind, I'm like, sometimes Chief has this huge farm here, and that's what he does. You know, in my mind, I mean, that's my body, my flesh, and I want to ask you this, Chief, is like, people can take it in the wrong way, and how do you know if people are using you for your service, for your farm, but you still give? Sometimes me, myself, is like, can't believe this guy is come ask, but you know what I mean? They make any kind, but I
Yeah.
see you still give, you still help these people, even though they might have done you wrong or say things. For me, I'm like, sometimes I get upset because these people do you wrong, but they still come and ask for your stuff. You bring them to the show. I'm like, and I ask myself, Chief, how you do that, Chief? Like, where you find that?
Well, it's part of that mana and the spirit believing
Mm,
that you don't just give to anybody you like or you love.
yeah,
To me, as long as I have things in the farm that people need, it it can be anybody, and even if they did something that
yeah, yeah,
against me,
right,
but
yeah.
to me, I just believe that if I do something good for him, maybe one day they won't do that to anybody else.
They can change, yeah,
They can change.
yeah,
Yes. So it is part of that trust and believe in the spirit, that let the spirit deal with it, with
man.
that part. But as on my part, it just do what it feels right to do.
Cause that, man, Chief, that can be very hard for somebody. Like, you know what I mean? I just know what you did to me and say to me, and you want to come ask me for stuff, and I see that those are the kind of values I take from you. You know what I mean? In
Mm.
in forgiving, in help. In my mind, I'm like, man, how does he just give? You give so much. You give from your own pocket every time.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And does that come from? I know you come up with a strong home. Does that come from your family, your parents? Because you just give. You know.
But that's part of how we live in the jungle
I get
and things that
emotional
we
talking
had
about
and what we share.
yeah,
And giving is when I give, I feel so happy. I don't count things I give. I just, when somebody needs something and I'm able to provide, I just give it with all my heart and my soul, that hopefully that person will enjoy the food or whatever, anything. It's not something that I don't do things for people because I want something back.
yeah,
I really don't.
100%, yeah,
I do things with trust and faith that God will help, and then maybe that person will not get hungry. And so that's the start of the farm. When
yeah,
COVID hit, and I told my brothers and I said it's time to hit the land, just in case they run out of food in the stores.
mm,
Where are we going? So we
yeah,
got to get started with growing stuff to eat. And sure enough, the first plantation of big taros were people that I never met before.
yeah,
They come from town and from different churches that came looking for food. So we just harvest and give them. And then for anybody.
yeah,
But then we just keep growing and knowing that somebody will come and be hungry. And sure enough, we didn't grow enough.
yeah,
There was many people that needed this type of taro and bananas and tapioca and whatever. So giving, I feel like giving is a gift, um, and it's something that has to come from in your heart.
yeah,
You know, you just gotta give, believing and trusting God that to help you get more things to give
yeah,
and help people that are in needs.
yeah. How do you
Yeah.
say, I think I might know, do you ever say no to anybody? In my experience is like, I've never heard you say no before to anybody, unless to me. And you blessed me when my mom passed away. My family fought love life. You have blessed me and many in our community in funerals, wedding, party with this farm, you know. And people ask me, does Chief sell? Like, Chief don't sell. I asked him too if he sell. We give him money, he's gonna give him back. And that's your heart, I think. And I think I know that's, you have blessed so many people. You're such a great example for that.
Thank you.
It's just giving. Is there any time you say no or I cannot help?
That's something that is really really hard for me to do. There's time that people ask
Mm,
and I don't have.
mm,
Then I say yes. Then I'll go look for it,
I know that.
and I go look for it.
How do you man, that is such a, so I hope everybody's listening to this. I'm emotional because it's such, the spirit is so strong here, sitting down with Chief and having this moment with him. All a life lesson, he's taught me to be a man, be a leader in his company, and I'm very blessed for him to trust me in that space. And the forgiving part is like, you know, I know I talked to you this about one time about forgiving. Like, how do you forgive and not hold grudges to someone? What message can you give us to forgive and help get past that? Yeah.
Well, I do feel that if somebody do something to make you angry or talk behind your back, I strongly feel that if I spend time to worry about it, I won't gain any better in my life.
Amen.
Um, I feel that if somebody do something back to you and you do something good to them over and over again,
Mm,
there's one day they'll
mm,
change.
mm.
One day
Yeah.
they'll change,
Yeah.
and they will never do it to someone else.
Man, that's such a big blessing because I had this talk with you before about that. And you don't know, it really helped me too in my own personal life. You have really helped me in this same situation, forgiving those who have done wrong to me. And I'm real open with you
Right, right.
with my marriage, with my life, and with the kids. And that is one thing that really stuck to me is still do good, yeah? Still show up to, because you say one day they're gonna change in what they're doing because it's up to them what they're doing. That's such a big blessing. So I hope you guys are listening.
Well,
And
just to be honest with you, before you became a leader
mm,
in Chiefs Luau and Fear Luau, there were so many people that talk to me
mm,
about you, and and I'm like, who are they to charge the person? So what I did with you was, to me, the Spirit was telling me to give you time to develop yourself as a great leader. And then
thank
look
you.
where we are right now.
Yeah.
We've been together for many, many years.
Hmm.
And that's something that is hard for some people to do. There's some
Yeah.
people that when somebody do something wrong, they jump into the conclusion of judging them. And for me, maybe that person needs a little bit more time.
Mm,
Little more time to work on his personal things, with families, with work, with
yeah.
anything that can happen in life.
Yeah.
We all need a little time.
Yeah.
Even when we're married with our wives, with children,
Hmm.
there is time that, you still need a little time
Mm,
on your own
yeah.
to go for a ride, drive around, or
Lanyardos.
maybe walk to the beach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, but God will always give us time for everything, as long as we make use of that time wisely, and then we get better in life. I'm very thankful for you for being a great leader in our team, and
Thank you, Chief.
I don't call it work.
Yeah.
I call it a team that work together. And also, as remember what I always tells you,
Mm,
that from the beginning of our company when we first started, I always say I will never fire anybody.
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I will never fire anybody. They will fire themselves.
Mm,
So, and it's because I don't want to charge anyone because of how they look. Or there's a lot of times that I look at some of the new dancers that come up,
hmm.
and I'm almost like, I think I even question you,
Yeah,
and I'm
you
like,
did.
are
Yeah.
you
Are you
sure?
sure
Are you sure this
this
person
person?
can
Yeah.
dance?
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
said yes.
Yeah.
Then what I did was to give you time
Yeah.
to work with
Thank
these
you.
people,
Yeah.
and they turn out to be so good.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's a good example
Mm,
of teamwork and working together, and not to worry about an activity that comes from left and right, up and down.
yeah.
That will always happen. But then it's up to us to decide whether we take that in us and then make us feel miserable all the time,
The negative. Yeah.
or maybe we just let the wind blow them away
Yeah.
on the side and we keep moving forward.
Man, thank you for those kind words, Chief. Because that led me right to my next question. Do you believe in second chances? And me, I am embarrassed to say I did do a lot of nonsense stuff at the Luau, and I was surprised I wasn't fired in a very, very long time. You know, and this is one of the big lessons that helped me to be a leader. Just what he say is give them time. Is give them time, because I know Chief gave me a lot of time to grow. I was very immature, You know, I had that attitude like I thought I knew it all. I had the attitude, you know, like if you don't do it like this, you're gone. But I think Chief hit it on the spot. Like he gave me time and he trusted me. So I took that in my own, in the boys,
Right, right,
because everybody comes with an attitude.
right.
And I was thinking, man, if Chief gave me so much chances, it's my turn to turn back and give it to all
Mm.
these young boys. You know what I mean?
And it's happening.
Yeah.
And I see it happen. I honestly say that I see some of the boys that I didn't believe they can do it, but then I left it to you
Thank
to
you.
to 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 change them and make them become who they are right now at the program. So I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah. I appreciate that, Chief. Thank you. And that all comes from your leadership. Like I said, you you don't get enough of the flowers, the glory you have. And me, I watch from afar. I study, and you have really taught me to become a better leader. You know what I mean? And you saw me through my failures, through my darkest moments, and trying to climb back up. And you were still there to, you know, with that hand, okay, come on. And not, this is one thing I never felt from you is judge.
Right.
I never felt that from you. That's why I felt so open. I feel like I could speak to you with openly with anything. And I thank you with that, because that helps me to help our team, because everybody goes through their own situation,
Right, right.
in their own problems. And before, Chief, I would get very upset if like people don't show up or they're not
Hmm.
doing things a certain way. And it goes back to you, how you always taught me, like, hey, you know, be patient, just teach, and like you said, just give it time.
Give it time.
And just give it time. And I appreciate that, man. And and I know a lot of our boys that come in, you're right, you know, we always look first like,
Right.
okay, doesn't look like a dancer.
Yeah.
In from our old team, right?
Right,
And I
right.
know that's what you were, man, and I appreciate that, Chief. And thank you for, you know, thank you for allowing me to be right there with you, to build me as the man that I am now. Because I've grown.
Thank
You
you.
taught me so much. And when I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do, you're very open to, hey, come back over here. Let's talk. Right?
Right.
And do you believe in that? Because you teach that at work every time. You teach very hard. And some people can't handle it. But it comes with a place of love.
Right.
You know what I mean? Do you think that works with everyone? Because I get it. You know what I mean? Like I always say, Chief teaches from a place of love.
Right.
Now, if you can't take it, if you get offended, then that's maybe something you need to work personally in your own self. You're insecure of.
I get a little bit hard on the performance with their performing, how they perform. It's not only that I want them to look good, but I want them to feel good about themselves.
Mm,
And I do feel that when they know they're doing so good, whatever dance they do, I do believe they feel very proud that
yeah.
they have they are doing it the right way. They are giving all their hearts, and that the audience is feeling their energy and mana,
Hmm.
which is that that's something that I want everybody to know, that there's so many people that come to me behind and they said there's so much energy in the performance.
Mm,
And that's something that not everybody can do.
yeah. Yeah.
In that 1 hour that we perform, you know, that's something that people will remember the most,
Yeah.
is how the spirit touched them, and the mana, the energy from the performance.
Yeah.
Which is stronger than than just looking beautiful.
Yeah. Amen.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
So, that's why I go hard on the guys, so they can feel good about themselves that they delivered to the best of their abilities,
Mm.
and then people will tell other people about it.
Yeah.
And not only at work, I always say, not only at the show, but everywhere they go, other jobs they do, if
Yeah.
if they perform another level than other people, they'll get the blessing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And even in their families, maybe they didn't have a good relationship with some family members, even parents. But if they step up their game, and one day when we get paid and go and buy some food and give, you know what I mean?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. That's how you put that mana and that energy into actions to reach out and bring back family members and be together again.
Yeah.
So it's not only for the show.
Yeah.
It's for everywhere you go, and every person that you come to meet, that you become a different person. With Luau as your assistant, when he first came, he didn't know nothing about the show.
Yeah.
Now he looks a leader. When you assign him to lead, and I can see his potential of being a good leader. But even when he goes to work and he come, with working clothes, and he's all excited, which is, to me, I can feel that what he's doing here is affecting the way he worked with his dad and what they do.
Yeah. That is so true, Chief, because you use this term siva. When you hear that, that means pick it up. Yeah.
Mm.
The energy is not where it needs to be, and I tell everybody this: the expectation at Chief Luau is very different from anywhere else. For those of us that work at Chief Luau at Fear, we know that the expectation is top notch. If you're not here, then you don't belong there. And it can be intimidating for others, you know what I mean? Because they're so used to just dancing. You'd always tell us, don't just perform, right?
Right.
Every culture you perform like it's yours, right? Something like that.
Exactly.
You would say that. Like you never know who's watching.
Yeah. When you represent a culture, you do it better than how they perform at their in their islands or in their country. So when we do the Fiji dance at the Chiefs Luau or Fia, that's the expectation, is to do it better than how they do it in Fiji. With the same with every other cultures that we represent. So and that's how we get the spirit to keep going every night and every day. And it's a blessing to be able to get the boys, the girls, musicians, and everybody that associate with both luau's, but with the great leader like my man Faimafili Snuka Laulu right here. It's a blessing, and I feel that everybody that come and join the team, they're not only knowing about dancing and culture, but they are building themselves better in life, as well as workmanship wherever they work at in the daytime or with their families.
Was Chief Luau ever was this Chief Luau ever a dream for you? Because you were the face of PCC. Was Chief Luau ever in your planning or in your future, or PCC? You thought PCC was going to be your life? Because Chief Luau blessed so many of us.
Well, I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life at the Polynesian Culture Center, but things didn't go the way I was thinking, and I think Heavenly Father had a different plan for me.
Mm.
So, and then after breaking up from PCC, it took me at least a few months to figure out where to go
Yeah.
and what to do. Because I felt that I have something that it needs to be shared.
Yeah.
And I have something that it can help to bless others to work along with me,
Yeah.
So um, pray a lot about it, dream about it,
Mm.
how to put it together, but don't know how to start.
Mm.
Until one time I was invited to perform at the Marriott Beach Club resorts for the opening of the offices
Mm.
in the
The
in the
fear fear,
lobby area
the fear show.
for the Fia.
Okay.
So I went there with everything I had that I knew how to do. And then right after the performance I was doing, a holy man came and talked to me.
Mm.
If he can talk, ask me if we can go for a walk. We walk over to the other side of the hotel, look down to the lawn area.
Mm.
And then he asked me, can you do something here? Can you do something in that lawn? He said, what are you looking for? And he said, I want a luau, but not luau.
Mm.
And I'm like,
What do you mean?
what are you talking about? A luau, but not a luau.
Mm.
Something different from a luau. And being from Samoa, I said, we can do a fia.
Mm.
And he asked me, what's fia? And I said, a happy celebration. And right there, he asked me, can you start next month?
Mm. Wow.
So that's how everything was born from there.
Yeah.
Chief's Luau was born from
That's how fear started.
And Fia is still going on as of right now. So it's a blessing. There were other things that came along against Fia, but we've been blessed to stay there for a very long time.
Yeah. Yeah. And your dream, your passion for the luau, using your gift, your talent has blessed us tremendously, especially all the boys and girls that went out, that grew up at Chiefs Luau and doing so well in their families, and you have blessed us. Everybody that worked under you, they know how the bond, what you bring, and thank you for staying true, because it could have been very difficult for you coming at your highest point and then boom.
Right.
Some people can't get out of that.
Right. It's hard. It's very hard unless you really stay up strong and believe in yourself. And one of the very important things that happened in the beginning of Fia at the Marriott Beach Club resorts is that there's a rich man that came and watched and he wanted to talk to me at the end of the luau. So it wasn't anything serious. He just say, congratulations. This is a good thing to start over here. But at the same time, I still had a question in my mind, is this what I needed to do? Or should I do something else? So I share with him that I used to work for many years, at the Polynesian Culture Center. Now I try to start this, and I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. If what's your, can you help me to see where I should go? Should I go to another job somewhere? But he said to me, stay at the game that you play best. And that one line take me out of any doubt of what to do. From that line, I'm like, okay, I'm at the game.
Yeah.
Just keep working hard on it.
Yeah.
And the first year of the luau at Fia, it was because there was not that many people that knew about it. I didn't get paid for the whole year because the only money that we were able to get is enough to share with the dancers. And,
Yeah.
but then after that year, it started growing bigger.
Yeah. Because I remember we're performing like at a bar area.
Yeah, in the bar area.
Just to maybe 18, 15
18,
people.
20 people.
And those people were just coming to hang out.
Right.
Yeah. And our was a little stage that was slanted.
Tiny little stage like this.
You know, this place is bigger than our stage we had. And it was like this. It was slanted. And what a journey, Chief, man. Thank you so much for that. You know, before we leave, and I know we work later, and I appreciate your time. You know, there's a big about our Tatau. You know what I mean? If you can share a little bit about the Tatau, you know, about when did you receive your Tatau and your journey and the process of the whole, you know, the meaning behind it.
Yeah. I received my Tatau when about 21. And that's when I was already here. I had to go back. You know, when I came here to go to school, I went back to get it done. But I was only doing it because getting the Malietoa Tauasa Chief title, I sat down with Malietoa Tonmafili and talk at his house. And then sign all the papers for the chief title. And that's something he mentioned to me. And he's just said, not very harsh or telling me go do it. He was just saying it'd be nice to get your attire along with your chief title. And that's why I decided to go through. I didn't know it was going to be that painful, but thank God I'm here. And you went through the ceremony, and then we are able to share this with many other people from all walks of life during our show. And I I highlighted my talk a lot of times about the Tatau at the show because, you know, I don't want people to think that we do this for the show.
Yeah.
You know, it's something very, very important. And every time I look at the designs and everything, I thank the ancestors that started and passed on from years and years ago. That the knowledge and the art continue to stay alive as of this day.
Yeah. What is your message to someone that wants to receive their Tatau? You know, maybe Samoan, or what is your, that wants to receive their Tatau?
Well, Samoans, not all Samoans go through the tattoo ceremony, the Tatau. But there are others that intermarried with our Samoan people, especially to our Samoan girls and ladies. And by that marriage, it gives them a chance and the right to also receive the Tatau on behalf of her or him and the family, you know, representing the culture, the family around the world. So I do feel that the Tatau, before and many, many years ago, and even when I went through the ceremony, there was a lot of rules and regulations about what to do and what not to do. But then, you know, the tattoo tufungas decided to eliminate some of the rules of the Tatau, but still keep the respect, power, and manner of the Tatau into our people. There are some of our people that migrate to many other countries, even here in Hawaii, in America, New Zealand, Australia, and everywhere. So their children grow up in the culture, but in a different country. In a different culture, in a different country, but they have it inside their blood and their soul. So to me, a lot of these people, they do so much good things for the people of Samoa and representing the culture in many different ways. and in a good way, and in making people very proud and stuff. So they go through the ceremony. So
Yeah.
to me, even though you don't speak the language,
Mm.
but already your actions, your service is already speaking for you.
Mm.
So, like they always say, action speaks louder than words.
Yeah.
So, with that service you do, and like what we do, representing our culture and all of Polynesia every single night,
Yeah.
I felt that even if we don't do this chiefly speech, we are already speaking with our performance.
Mm.
And I think we earn the right to carry the Tatau and the spirit of our ancestors to the world,
Yeah.
representing not only that the Tau is painful, but we're going to do more work to represent
Mm.
our culture and our people around the world.
On that note, thank you so much. What a powerful message that is, Chief. And for those of you listening, and a couple more questions. On that note, under the Tau, as we continue to serve, how do you feel about other culture outside of Samoa receiving their Tatau? How do you feel like other, maybe Palangi or Meuli, or, you know, how do you feel about them, other cultures receiving their Tatau?
Well, I'm speaking for myself. I think, like I said, if they're intermarried with our culture,
Mm.
they married into the culture, then I feel that it's okay
Mm.
for them to carry on the knowledge and the Tatau. For those that have no connections to the culture, that I will not say yes or no to it,
Mm.
because right now we're tattooing with so many different ways of doing it. There is even easy way to do it with the
Yeah.
machines.
Yeah.
Those are the people who can just go and
Mm-hmm.
and copy the designs and do it, on
Mm-hmm.
themselves.
Mm.
So I don't feel strong about them getting the Tatau. I do feel strongly if they're intermarried to the culture, then that will give them the blessings to
Mm.
receive the art. And
Yeah. Do you think, like, because this question is asked a lot, for say, oh, I'm not Samoan, I can't get it, but they love the culture, the the people they're around, and the respect that they have, you know what I mean, being tied into the culture, because we do get asked those questions, right? Who can
mm,
get it, who doesn't? And you answered that. And maybe somebody's not married to Samoan from outside, but loves our culture and want to be a part of it. And my thinking is a, long as you love it, you respect it, respect your word, continue to serve in what you do. And that's just my own opinion, my own feelings about that.
well, I feel that with lots of love and respect to the culture,
Mm.
and doing things to represent and serve the culture, I think those kind of people are also, you know, can carry the art. It's because they're serving the country, the culture, even though there's no intermarried. But if they're doing positive things that
Mm.
make the people look good and make people look very proud and representing Samoa, I feel that they earn the right to go through the ceremony.
Yeah. No, thank you, Chief. That's such a blessing, and this you covered everything. I had other questions, but you covered everything about the Tao, and it's all about respect to your family, and I respect Chief's time, and I know we got to get going. But Chief, any final message you wanna send out to our people before we head out?
I just want to say, fa maru lavru so fu man wia pa ia man maru Samoa, just want to share and continue to this program with Faimafili Laulu Snuka to continue to share these important part of the culture. As we are here in Hawaii and we continue to every single night that we share the culture and the knowledge of our people, we pray that that we all do the same, that we stay positive with the culture we have and stay strong and keep and hold on to it. There's not very many living culture left. So for Samoa and mothers and fathers, children, and everybody, always remember that love and respect is the culture of Samoa. But no matter where we go, whether we're in Samoa, when in Hawaii, we're in anywhere around the world, we continue to share that love and respect for others. Faftai lava.
Thank you so much, Chief. What a blessing for me. And I know this is going to touch a lot of you. Thank you so much for joining us. This is High Chief Malietoa Tauasa. We all know him as Chief Sielu. And we love you, Chief. Thank you so much.
Lava.
Thank you. Oh, that was awesome.